morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very early. Very early in the morning. Yes. Yes, it is real, Sam. DJGQ in Hurst. Happy New Year. Pray for Venezuela. Pray for, I'd see that in the chat. Pray for the soldiers out there. Pray for the civilians out there. It is a crazy time to be alive. I was about to go to bed. And then I see somebody in the Discord is like, oh, great, we did it. We attacked Venezuela. So much for no more wars. And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We'll get into it, of course, because there's lots of stuff to get into. I have all the cool footage, all the cool music. You're going to hear it all. Okay. All right. But yes, we have not only attacked Venezuela, not only hit a half dozen different military sites, but we have sent in the hard hitters, the Matt Prankas of the U.S. military, let the dogs off their leash, and they conducted a 3 a.m. raid, 2 a.m. raid, I think, in Venezuela, and they got Maduro and his wife, the sitting president and first lady of a foreign country. They not only successfully attacked a foreign country, they successfully extracted its president in 2026. 2026 is in a wild state right now. Yes, we need a Matt Pranka first person view of the raid. That would be sick. Here you can see our boys, some helicopters flying over with explosions in the background. January 3rd, technically speaking, early hours of January 3rd. I also apologize if I'm going to slur my words. I worked out for like 2 hours. I came home at 3 o'clock. You're ko-fiing and super chatting already, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much for that, sir. But we're going to get into it, dude. As everybody else is waking up with me, if nobody's here, it'll just be us. It'll be chill. People will wake up with the stream. Okay. I was about to go to bed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning where I am. I got done with a workout at 3 o'clock in the morning, came home, took a shower, hang out with the wife, and now I'm here. All right. So maybe I'll stay up for another couple hours. But January 3rd, the U.S. has struck Venezuela and captured its president, Nicolas Maduro, who has been taken out of the country, President Donald Trump said on Saturday. So yes, in about 2 hours, we neutralized all resistance and captured the president of a foreign country. Wild. Wild. The U.S. has not made such a direct intervention in Latin America since the invasion of Panama in 1989 to kind of do the same thing. But I got to say, regardless of what you think of the conflict, whether you think Orange Man bad or Orange Man good, insane efficiency, okay? To AK-103 parts are back on the menus. To think about the idea of that we can at any point in time not only successfully attack and dominate a second world country, I guess you could say, but capture its president and first lady and then extract them out of the country at will. And I don't even know if you can call it a war. So I'm saying like US at war in the thumbnail just because I needed something catchy for the thumbnail, right? Is it really war if you win it instantly and then a general who you've already selected to be the next president, right, is in place like in 24 hours, 48 hours? This will be a short war in like less than 24 hours, but there's going to be lots of smaller conflicts. Lots of smaller conflicts. Luis Gomez says, not a war, a well-planned and executed raid. We're going to get into it. We got all the footage, dude. That's the one thing about 2025 versus 1989. Like, we have the footage. Let's see. United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. There was no immediate confirmation from the Venezuelan government. The U.S. has accused Maduro of running a narco state and rigging an election, both of which are probably true, right? Maduro, mega corrupt, no doubt there at all. Who succeeded Hugo Chavez to take power in 2013. He said Washington wants to take control of its oil reserves, which we do, and we did. So instead of that oil going to, neighboring countries and, China or Russia, well, congratulations, Texas. You just got a new contract. Texas got a lot of new, very crude oil heading their way, but Texas can handle it. So There is a video. We're going to watch the video and then we'll get into all the cool clips because, like, Conflict Observer and a few other guys, they are so fast and so good with all of the footage. Like, we could probably be up all morning just looking at the footage. Hey, I had that White Monster energy. True. This is what it feels like to be on White Monster. Can we hear it?
Donald Trump has just posted a statement on Truth Social. This is the first public acknowledgement by the United States. I will read it for you, just seeing this pop up on my phone as we speak while texting back and forth with senior advisors at the White House. From the President of the United States. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country.
I'm on, like, there's like a tenth of a scoop of pre-workout in here, and then it's just some like non-caffeine flavoring because it's so late. But I might need to put another scoop of pre-workout in here. I might need to do that.
This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow, according to the president. There will be a news conference, he says, today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. He then punctuates it, as he often does, with thanks for your attention to this matter. It is signed by the president. So, again, I want to repeat two of the key sentences.
Pardon my French here, but I think the letter read something like, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we just fucked up Venezuela. Thank you for your attention to this matter."
Is in there. He confirms that the U.S. carried out this large-scale strike against Venezuela, and he says that its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. So, according to the President of the United States, Nicolas Maduro is no longer on the ground in Venezuela. It leaves open a bit of a vacuum there in terms of leadership. It's not entirely clear who is effectively running that country.
Pacific Northwest Minuteman 2000 says, "Get your kits ready. We may be deeper than we know, boys." I don't think so, because I think with Maduro out of the country, there's no real fight. And as they're going to get into, this is an inside job. Like, we absolutely have people in the know inside who helped in the handing over of President Maduro. And I mean, like, high ups, generals, and other people in his associations. So I think that Ko-Fi sucks. Ko-Fi's great, dude. Ko-Fi only takes like 3%, and you can say literally anything. You can say like literally anything you want. It's very good. But no, we had very much so. We had high up members in their cabinet, high end officials, whatever it might be, that allowed us to do this so efficiently. And those people in the next 24 to 48 hours will be vying to take control from the loyalists. So now we're going to have a bit of a I don't know if we're going to have an American occupation. I know that we're flying in a lot of dudes, as you guys will see in a minute. We're flying in a lot of dudes. So I don't know if we're going to have a slight occupation of some important areas while the loyalists and the separatists, or the loyalists and the American side, I guess you could say, are fighting it out. But this is definitely inside help, 100%.
At this time, I just want to get your immediate reaction to the news that we are hearing again in a Truth Social post from the President of the United States.
Well, this changes everything. This means that this was a regime change operation, and that this was had some degree of coordination. Witnesses earlier described helicopters. Witnesses described low-flying aircraft. I was taken aback by what you just said, that Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been taken.
F off for full says Monroe Doctrine. WTF, how can you not mention this if we don't fill the vacuum? China. Well, absolutely. Because remember, like, not only is Venezuela like an agent of chaos in the region because they don't like the U.S., the oil also goes to places that we don't like. Russia and China have been trying to help them out and build up their supplies, again, as a destabilizing agent in South America, and as a much closer venue to destabilize America as well. So yeah, getting rid of Maduro and installing your puppet works out great, dude. Works out great. Dude, 80 Rubenstein, I got all of your Ko-Fi messages over there. So if it didn't work over there, it should have. I got it. Hey, Donzel. I will answer that in a minute. Let's let it go.
Into custody. That means there were either local forces on the ground or local forces working with Americans to hand over the leader and bring him out of the country. an extraordinary development. We just saw a regime change operation take place quickly in the early hours. You said, does it leave a power vacuum? I know that for the last several months, there have been conversations going on through intermediaries with the generals and the top leaders around Maduro, trying to convince them to turn on him, to hand him over, to allow him to be arrested, and to get him to use the phrase what we had heard earlier, to cry uncle. He wasn't crying uncle, and now it seems he was arrested.
Yeah, so allegedly, we'll get into it in a minute. Allegedly, the raid was carried out by Delta Force and the FBI HRT. FBI HRT was also involved in capturing Maduro and his wife and getting them out of the country. Well, if this was Trump's New Year's resolution, he got that done quick. 4 a.m. Goy trip slop. Yeah, I mean, it's just U.S. invading a foreign country, you know. That's slop content in 2026. Hey, listen, I was up, okay? I was up. I saw it playing out. I was watching all of the footage, okay? And I was like, I'm just going to watch it all with you guys, okay? Whoever's up, let's go.
Extraordinary development.
Now,
it
Richard
started out with some boat strikes and then to a military campaign on land, and now a military operation and an arrest.
And Richard, that of course, it opens up a lot.
Development.
I apologize for interrupting again. That breaking news that according to the President of the United States, the U.S. has now successfully launched, carried out, as he says, what was a large-scale strike attacks in and around Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela. Beyond that, he says that the U.S. has captured, and flown out of the country Nicolas Maduro and his wife. And Richard, I bring this up because it's significant for
Yo, Riples first. I hope your morning is going quite well. It feels like night to me because I haven't slept yet, but
variety of reasons. Nicolas Maduro, only a matter of days ago, said in a new interview that he was open to negotiating with Washington to combat drug trafficking. The first sign that this pressure campaign was taking its toll. The questions that it raises now are, was there any resistance by Maduro when this took?
However, no, daily breakfast streams. Could you imagine? I have like a 7 a.m. wake up show, a 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. evening show. No, I couldn't do it. Well, Joe Redacted says this would only make sense if Maduro has the Epstein files. True. Yeah, so you guys are going to forget about that, right? Because we got Maduro. I mean, you guys don't want the Epstein files. We got Maduro. I mean, Maduro was a pressing issue for you guys, I'm sure.
Place? Was this in some way negotiated with those around him? Those are questions we have on the ground.
Man, people joke about FBI HRT, but if you or I as American citizens are likely to get killed by a federal hit team, it's going to be the HRT. Which is funny that they also use trannies as another one of their modes of attack.
And as you say, the U.S. swept in and did this under the veil of
cross spotted in the background. Very Catholic South America, which is, it's so bad that their presidencies and their political systems are all trash, but say la vie.
Darkness. It took place very quickly. We don't know what may have occurred on the ground right now, but it raises a lot of real questions about what, if any, conversations did exist in any form with Nicolas Maduro, or if this was the first contact when, in effect, the United States military was knocking on his door and sweeping up him and his wife and taking them out of the country.
Panama too. Noriega, those who remember the story. He was accused of being a narco trafficker, refused to leave. U.S. forces swept in and grabbed him. To answer some of the questions, I know for the last several months there have been contacts.
That John Neal has a good point. Ground invasion into Mexico against the cartels when? Listen, if we can snatch up the sitting president of a, I don't want to say powerful country, but like a second world country, right? In like 2 hours, start to finish. I feel like we can murk every cartel leader and base in like 15 minutes. Like, surely we could just end this if we really wanted to, which makes me think that the US really doesn't want to, right?
contacts through intermediaries with Maduro's inner circle to try to convince him to leave the country. He was not interested. He was resisting. This pressure campaign has been escalating. First with the boats, then with President Trump declaring him a narco-terrorist, then all of the U.S. military buildup in the region, the aircraft carrier strike groups, the submarines, the drones, aircraft. Then, shortly before New Year's, a land strike allegedly carried out by the CIA. Very few details about what was hit then. And now, overnight, a capture operation. You don't do a capture operation without attacking some military sites, because you need to clear the airspace, you need to clear away air defenses, you need to protect the helicopters and the troops that are going in to remove the person you're trying to arrest. So the U.S., President Trump, just decided to pull a Panama 2 for New Year's.
Well, another thing that we don't like is says they went splinter cell on somebody in another country, but a judge just passed another injunction, so he can't stop the illegals and fraudsters. Yeah, it's like Trump can order, like almost unilaterally, right, the kidnapping and extraction of a president, you know, multiple thousands of miles away in a different continent, but we can't seal up the border, but we can't prosecute fraud in Minnesota, but we can't deport people because it might be mean. The world we live in is very strange. Very strange.
And affect regime change in Venezuela. An extraordinary development. And you asked, was this coordinated? It could only have been coordinated with at least some people who turned on Maduro, because the people knew where he was. They were.
Well, I'm actually, this is very developing. So there's so much footage coming out as of right now. I would not be surprised if at the 11 a.m. meeting, 11 a.m. EST, which is in 2 hours and 45 minutes from now, if we have pictures of Maduro somewhere, maybe even back in the U.S. at that point. I don't know if he's in the U.S. yet, just because I don't know if logistically we can actually get him here that fast. Most likely moved offshore to a carrier, I would imagine. And then he's going to go through, you know, questioning and verification that that's actually Maduro on the carrier. And then from there, they're going to fly him out to, you know, somewhere, right? Right. That would probably be the plan. He's probably sitting really nice and tight, surrounded by doctors, security on a aircraft carrier somewhere. Probably having a fun time, I imagine. I imagine that's, you know, his wife is also with him, which, you know, wife of a dictator, evil person, but I still feel a little bit bad for her, right?
They knew where his family was. It sounds like he is still alive, and I would not be surprised if we see him in front of an American court in the coming weeks or months.
How baller would it be, though, if Trump has had all this, like, obviously, you know, Trump, you know, and all the stuff, and, you know, pro-Israel shill and whatever, but how baller would it be? Okay, the optics, just optically. If we have Trump sitting down at the White House at 11 o'clock in about 3 hours with Maduro like handcuffed behind him with the Delta team that brought him in, like just optically, Kino, right? Very Kino. Renovatio says they sent Maduro via UPS. His whereabouts and delivery date are currently unknown. Yeah. Nope, John Neal, that's very, very, very fair take. All right, well, let's get to some of the footage, because the footage is nuts. So this is the first thing that I think everyone has seen, which is, let's get the audio. So this is breaking multiple airstrikes. This was just a couple hours ago. Multiple airstrikes reported, as well as the 160th SOAR aircraft spotted over the capital city of Caracas, Venezuela. This is a developing situation. More information will be posted.
Mamá huevo, qué locura. Mocaí. Mira esa mierda, explotaron allá toda esa mierda porque tú no estás explotando.
And now that's dozens of what, MH60s? Dozens of them, at least. And we're going to see, there's, again, whatever your thoughts are on the war, 2026 is cool because we literally get the footage live streamed to us. So you can get your bread and circuses. And this circus is not stale, okay? It's not boring.
Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esta mierda, oyó.
Huevo.
A good enough gunner says now time to import a bunch of refugees from Venezuela. Yeah. Glad you're proud of our troops. We're being replaced in our own country before us. All true, right? All true there. And this could be just a way to push more unrest in Venezuela. Again, I think it'll be over rather soon. If I had to guess, they're going to install their puppet. Maduro will be tried and sentenced in the US. That would, again, be my guess. And then things will settle down. But yes, it will absolutely put upward pressure on refugees, and you'll get lots of Venezuelans who hate you clamoring in at the border. And then a random judge will tell Trump, oh, sorry, buddy, you can't, sign that into law. You can't do that. You can't be deporting these people because it might be mean. Wah.
Marico, llegamos a tiempo a la casa, oyó.
Marico, mira esa mierda.
James Garner fan says, John, if we use you for dry fire, would you be offended? No, that's what you should be using me for, honestly.
El fuerte fiuna.
How close those helicopters are to you. I get most of the civilians, and I do recommend you pray for the civilians caught in the crossfire here, because undoubtedly there's going to be some collateral damage. But just to be like some abuela sitting in your, hotel or apartment complex, whatever it happens to be, and to hear choppers like right overhead, because they're flying pretty low, launching rockets at, whatever sort of emplacements or SAMs or anything else is there. It's quite an interesting feeling that, again, we here in America will probably never have to know, unless it's our own helicopters, of course. Yeah, look at them. Now, allegedly, there were also low-flying planes as well, jets. So F-35s flying over, hitting the SAM sites. And that's also a thing. Like, once our F-35s and other guys take out all of their SAM sites, they don't really have anything that could hit any of our stealth fighters. And so once our stealth fighters take out everything on the ground, then, we could just deploy troops at will, basically, right?
El fuerte fiuna. ¡Vete a la verga! ¡Esta verga, cabrón! ¡Mierda!
That guy sounds drunk. I don't know if he's having that bad of a time. He just sounds kind of drunk. Yeah, more footage of the 160th aircraft over Caracas, however you pronounce it. M134 miniguns, as well as 30mm cannons audible from the MH-60s. Additional reports of U.S. forces on the ground in the capital. So we have a list coming up a little bit later on of the list of places that are being currently held by U.S. Marines, like people actually on the ground right now. So we do have some occupation force there. All right, let's now that sounds like fireworks, but I'm pretty sure that has to be like what? An oil refinery, an oil tanker, a gas station, something there, some piece of infrastructure that's leaking fuel, then it ramps up and then eventually turns off here. Actually, yeah, so that says the major secondary explosions after U.S. airstrike near Higuerote Airport, Miranda, Venezuela. Images are surfacing of Marine aircraft over Caracas, waiting for additional information to confirm. James Wyatt says, why still bomb if we have him? So I would imagine from the US's perspective that we want to capture him, hold him, and then ensure a transition of power that we want, right? So we want whatever our guy that the US military has been talking with, probably in Maduro's associates, cabinet, one of his generals, whichever one of those guys we think is ours, or several of them we think are ours, we want those guys to take power, right? Because this is a coup, essentially. This is like a US coup, right? So we're going to, with the help of insiders in Venezuela, for sure, take Maduro out of the country. He's ours. Thank you very much. And then we're going to help to install our puppet and ensure a peaceful transition of power, right? Ensure a peaceful transition of power, whatever they say. And which one did we just watch? We just watched that one. It's just so cool, right? So here we have the 160th again engaging Venezuelan forces with cannons and Hydra rockets. And we're going to get some Berts very soon. Do not you worry. Do not you worry. Well, the only problem is it's been about 4 hours since we got him. 3.5, 4 hours since we got him. So I don't know if it's physically possible to get him back that fast. Like, because I think it's about an 8 to 10 hour flight. So I think he's probably on a carrier somewhere right now, and then they're in the process of getting him to the US. So I don't know if he'll be here today. It's possible. Very cool for us. Yeah, and this is more MH60s taking out targets, or at least engaging targets. Now, this is a statement from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela repudiates, and denounces before the international community and the extremely serious military aggression perpetuated by the current government of the United States of America against Venezuelan territory and population in the civilian and military areas of the city of Caracas, capital of the republic, and the states of Miranda, Aragua, and La Garia. So they're confirming at least 4 different regions that we're currently inside of, deep, penetrating. This act constitutes a flagrant violation of the Charter of the United Nations, especially Articles 1 and 2. Blah, 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 blah. Cope and seethe. You got wrecked. Sorry, dog. Now, they absolutely do have the right to defend themselves, right? As a nation, you know, somebody just took your president. You have the right to defend yourself. It's just not going to go well for you. Not going to go well. Crazy how I did this in Mercenaries 2 back in 06. Dude, core memories. Absolutely. It's like, UN, please slap the US. Please PP slap them. Please. Please. No, thank you.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira.
Now, this says U.S. strikes targeted the 4F barracks in the mountains overlooking Caracas, a site that contains both a museum and the mausoleum of the Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez. And we kicked over your statues of Hugo Chavez just for fun, and took out a barracks there. And again, like to the you know, Venezuelan military who, you know, might have just been regular Joes who are now dead in these strikes. Like, it's really sad, but such is life, you know. Such is life.
Acaban de explotar.
All right. So I'm going to get hit on the music, but I don't know if this is supposedly them taking off from wherever they were staging at, but United States has officially confirmed the operation. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has been captured by U.S. forces. Confirmed targets struck in the operation: the Higuerte Airport, El Volcan, La Carlota, Fuerte Tiana, and La Garaport. So Maduro met in Caracas with a special, this is interesting, if true. I don't know if this part has been confirmed, but Maduro met in Caracas with a special envoy of Chinese officials hours before the operation. It remains unknown whether the Chinese delegation managed to leave Venezuela before the U.S. operation began. So that is tricky, right? Because we're, I guess, at war with Venezuela, right? Technically speaking, we just invaded them and took their president out, like physically out, right? But, you know, Chinese envoys getting caught in the crossfire, not kosher, not cool, right? Don't do that, you know, right now, please. You know, if this is the incident that sparks World War III, it's like, it was going so well until you accidentally killed the wrong people. Colombian President Petro claims that the United States has struck the Venezuelan parliament building. So the Colombia is saying that they also struck our parliament building in Colombia. Okay. Is that what that's saying? Or is it just the... Yeah, I'm not sure. The Senate Armed Service Committee has not verified ahead of any potential military action taken tonight in Venezuela, a source familiar told CNN. Fair enough. The U.S. Embassy in Colombia has issued a shelter-in-place order for Americans currently in Venezuela. Maybe get out. I don't know. If I was an American on holiday or something in Venezuela, I might want to get out. I might. I'm just saying, you know, everybody's situation is different, but yeah. Footage for illustrative purpose, not operational footage. Yeah, so it's just footage of planes taking up and off. Now, here is the official statement from Donald J. Trump over on Truth Social, because he likes to use his own platform. Whatever. United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. So, Maduro, he's our guy now, you and your wife. This operation was done in conjunction with the U.S. law enforcement, which I believe is the FBI HRT team, which we'll get into in just a second. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. EST, Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, blah, 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 which will be in 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours until President Trump addresses the nation. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you for your attention to this matter. But now this isn't a picture of them like at the op or anything else like that. But it is now confirmed that tonight's operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was carried out by the Army's 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment, Delta, widely known as Delta Force. So you might not know it, but if we take out all these black squares, it's actually just all Matt Pranka under here. Not really, but we send in the best, okay? The best of the best, and that just happens to be Delta. Listen, all right, I saw some people, they were trying to clown on Delta, say they're not all that good, say they're not all that they're hyped up to be. I mean, they just stole, finessed, kidnapped, I don't know, flossed on an entire country by hopping in there, taking out a sitting president, physically removing him from the country in which he's at, from their capital. Like, how embarrassing. How embarrassing. How embarrassing is that? As like, even as a Venezuelan citizen, okay? Especially if you're part of the Venezuelan military. That like 25 dudes in little birds hopped on to your presidential palace or wherever he was at and said, "That's a nice president you got there. It would be a shame if he was our prisoner." And then they did that. And then they got out of there. And they took his wife just for fun, I guess. All while Chinese delegates are in the building. Like, how funny would that be? Delta's in the room with president, getting him out, and the 2 Chinese delegates are just sitting there like, we surrender. Very funny. Yeah, the fact that they overthrew an entire country's leadership in 30 minutes is a any percent world record speedrun territory. I think so. I think so. Yeah, Operation Yoink. Tactically acquired their prez. Yeah. Now, is the FBI, I should also mention, FBI HRT, the hostage response team, right, were also believed to be present during the operation. So now the name hostage response team, they're a little more offensive than that, you know? So there weren't any real hostages being held, I don't think, but this is just, you know, it's their hot team, okay? It's their good guys. The FBI HRT team, it's the good ones, okay? If there's an FBI death squad coming to your door and it's the HRT, it's not looking good for you, okay? It's not looking good. No, I know it's the hostage rescue team, but just because they're called the hostage rescue team doesn't mean that they're actually hostages in play, right? The Chinese delegation were wearing bikinis. Listen, I'm pretty sure at the top, all the countries, they're all weirdos. They're all degenerates. American, South American, Eastern, they're all weirdo degenerates. Scepter 6 says it's all former tier 1 guys in HRT. Maybe they work really well together, right? But I mean, Delta did the same thing in 1989, right? Deltas are the guys who get it done. They're just the ones you call. You say please and thank you. You let them off their leash and they go and they steal a precedent, okay? Let's see. Okay. So let me see here real fast. Let me get you guys some new footage from my saved profiles. Because, again, one of the only benefits, I guess, of doing this in 2026 is that you get, well, you would think it's HD, but it's really not all that HD. You would think, but not always. Mom said it's my turn with the head of state, dude. 545 back on the menu, maybe. Here we go. Atlas News. This is another very good one. Let me see here. This one here.
Son las 1:58 de la mañana. Están atacando el Fuerte Fiuna.
I mean, and they're going right overhead. Right overhead, dude. And yeah, these are Chinooks, right? So these are dropping off soldiers. These are like, oh, we need, I don't know how many people fit in a Chinook, like 12, 15, something like that. But they're like, all right, we're going to go drop off a bunch of Marines to harass the local Latina population. Well, somebody says Iran and Venezuela down. Yeah, Iran's. I want to say it's way more difficult just because of where it's located, right? Because it's so much further away. And I don't know if you have the same access to it, to like helicopters, right? And then amphibious assault. I think Iran's way more difficult than a coastal country of Venezuela. Iran's way harder. Dude, well, that's the funny thing, Modern Frontier Project. We're at the point now where we're going to have some planes, and not quite helicopters, but some planes that are going to be in service for a century. A literal century. I mean, we have what? We have 40 more years for the AR for it to be a century. The AR-15 will probably be around and in mass production for almost a century, at least. About 32 bench seats in a Chinook. Okay, even better. Heck yeah. Reeve Beeve. Oh, hey, new here. I imagine I haven't seen you around, or it's just a way earlier time before you catch the regular stream. Says, glad my country is a U.S. ally. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of this. Listen, if you are from a second or a third world country and you're watching this footage right now, you're like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do you do? You just sit back and take it? I guess. Feels bad. Iran also have working aircraft, unlike Venezuela. Yeah, but how many do they have left? How many of them do they have left? That's the question.
Explosiones, se escuchan helicópteros, son las 1:58 de la mañana.
Yeah, also, Mr. Gunston Gear has a really good map of all of the protests going on in Iran currently against the Ayatollah. Could be interesting, right? I mean, you know, Iran's flip-flopped what, twice in the last 70 years, 80 years?
Están atacando el fuerte Fiuna.
James White says this channel anti-GOP 11 is freaking out right now. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're Trump said no new wars, and you know, striking Iran didn't cause a war, and it kind of ended the situation there, which is weird, right? That striking their nuclear program with B2s and just telling you, hey, you should probably stop, kind of silence that situation. But this could turn into a hot war or destabilize the area, you know, because like this is, I don't know if you could call this a war because we just curb stomped the enemy. It's like, can you really call it a war if one side has no losers in it and it's just a curb stomping? Well, it's more than a blockade. It's more than a blockade, William. It's definitely more than a blockade, as you're, you know, seeing fires and, you know, helicopters deploying people in. But it's definitely a power swap. We are taking one president, saying no, thank you, and throwing in another one. Is it legal? I will make it legal. True. Based Mike for life says Trump's a joke. I'm done voting. Listen, for some of you guys, this is not what you voted for at all. 100%. 100%. This is a war hawk move. This is a aggressive move. This is not the move that you wanted, right? So I get it. I get it, man. For me, who did not vote for Trump in 2024, going according to plan, I guess, because I don't think Trump is the guy. I know a lot of people in 2016 thought Trump was the guy. He was going to bring back America. He was going to make it this, you know, utopian like the founding fathers believed it was going to be. But no, he's just another one of them. He's a different flavor, but he's just another one of them. Reef BF says, a longtime subscriber, love your content. Okay, good. I just haven't seen you around very often. That's fine. Lots of firearm decisions have been heavily influenced by your videos. You are correct. I am from the Philippines. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Glad to have you along, man. What are you doing? Just got into work. We are, you know, U.S. doing a little action over in Venezuela. Thought I'd talk about it. Why not? Savvy McStabby. No. I was not Nick Fuentes campaigning for Kamala. Like that doing that type of thing pushes you into the accelerationist camp, right? Where you're like, oh, it's all gonna fall, so let's make it fall faster by voting for Kamala Harris. Right? Because I mean, she would hasten the end, which you can do that, but I have a wife and kids, right? So am I trying to get society to collapse tomorrow? No. Truska says the Russians have condemned the American military aggression. Well, yeah, but that's because one of their oil sources is now gone. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but outside of other South American countries, Venezuela's main exports were to Russia, probably Iran, and China. Yeah? I muted myself. I apologize. Anyways, no anti-air at all. What we're probably listening to now or seeing now is after people wake up, right? So originally what happened is F-35s and probably mostly F-35s and cruise missiles from your, whatever ships you have out there nuked every single SAM site from orbit, right? So they're all gone at this point. All of those potential, anti-air attack venues, they're all gone. They're all eliminated. And now we can send in all of the helicopters and we own you, basically. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Chauvin on your neck, bro. That's wild. Very sorry about that. I was blowing my nose or clearing my throat. And I didn't want you guys to hear it. So I muted it. And because I've been up for like many, many hours at this point, haven't slept yet, I'm going to be a little slow, okay? Little slow. Omai says, not really upset by us getting in a war, but we'll be upset if we don't steal all their oil. I think that's tangentially a point, because remember, we have refineries in Texas right now that can actually refine their heavy crude. For a while, that was an issue, but Texas can handle it. So we can take their terrible crude and take it to Texas. So Iran, Russia, China, no more Venezuelan crude. Sorry about that. It's all going to Texas now. So, I mean, it's a win-win kind of from a geopolitical stance. Like, think about it. Take away the moral constraints or like the no war side of things, right? Just from a geopolitical power play, all your oil is ours and your president is gone, and we put in somebody who actually likes us. It's a win-win. And if it goes off flawlessly, which it seems like it has so far, very few, if any, American casualties, right? So almost perfect.
Ok, siguen las explosiones. Se escuchan.
Esa mierda, marico.
Mierda, marico.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing dozens. We've seen this one earlier. I'll let it play for the people who are just coming in, but yeah, we're seeing dozens of these helos flying over. And again, I think they're holding about 4 or 5 places right now.
Mamá huevo. Qué locura.
Base Mike for Life says, at least be honest and don't lie and say it's over fentanyl. Well, the government's going to lie to you and tell you whatever they think you want to hear. But I mean, do drugs really matter? I mean, think about it. Like, again, I think it's more geopolitical than just like, oh, drugs, right? Because I mean, our own pharmaceutical companies kill hundreds of thousands of Americans a year, and the government does not care. They don't care about civilians or about the individual, right? So, I mean, they're liars at their core, let's be real. But from another aspect too, if Russia and China are using Venezuela to, sell, high-tech weaponry and hypersonic missiles, or to use them as a foothold in South America for potential, help in some sort of World War III-esque scenario, removing that player from the map continuously, like permanently, and removing that potential foothold for Russia and China, also a good geopolitical move. Yeah, I know. And if you're the guy who said no new wars, no foreign conflict, none of that, that's not what you got. You got the opposite of that tonight, this morning.
Moscaí. Mira esa mierda. Explotaron allá toda esa mierda porque tú no estás explotando.
Mierda, marico, se prendió.
Well, so Ed says 100,000 fentanyl deaths, says yes. Right, but Venezuela isn't making the fentanyl. That's China for the most part. I think that's where most of it comes in legally through pharmaceutical means and then gets sold off secondhand, black market, gray market type stuff. The Mexico border has a much higher drug trafficking than like waterbound vessels. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong about that. I'm not an expert in this by any means, but I believe that's correct. Feel free to correct me in the comments.
El peo en esta mierda, yo.
Mamá huevo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2,
Marico, llegamos a tiempo a la casa, yo.
Marico, mira esa mierda.
That was a big one. See, a lot of the footage is from really far away. I'm like, oh, what are you hitting? Like, what's over there? I want to see it, right? I know it's, 2026 and everybody has, HD 4K cameras in their pocket, but still they're being recorded by abuelas from a mile away. Okay. So the quality of the cameraman or woman, okay, it's not always very good.
No, marico, es que no puede ser en serio.
Marico, vamos a moverla.
Graba ahí, graba ahí.
Espera.
Graba, marico.
Now, these blacked out areas, like that's where they hit the power stations, right? Because I imagine this would not, unless this is like some sort of unbuildable hill here. Like this is just blacked out because they hit the power station. I'm surprised more of the lights aren't off. Like they wouldn't have just completely taken out the power grid. I don't know if that was a main target of theirs or if that would be helpful to accomplish their mission, but I just feel like that's helpful, right? Having nobody have any lights or anything like that.
Me está jodiendo. Marico, no puedo creer esta mierda. Marico, me está jodiendo.
Oh,
Marico, te
there-
lo juro,
Ya, marico.
ya mismo.
Agua no puede ser.
No vi ahí al lado de Fortuna, weón.
Yeah, whatever is in these 3 or 4 hotspots over there, like I feel bad for you, dude. You are now dust and rubble.
Marico, se me quedó sin el puto teléfono. ¿Me están grabando?
Sí.
Marico, me dan un infarto en esta mierda.
Well, I mean, they're not launching cruise missiles or whatever these are at nothing. There's something there, right? So
Tengo el
there was something there. My apologies.
corazón a mil, pues.
Allá también, marico, escucha. Nuestros papás deben estar
Muriéndose.
A mi mamá le da un infarto. No tengo que llegar a ese nivel, ¿verdad?
Vamos a caminar,
Sí,
vamos.
vamos a darle,
Vamos
No, marico, es que no puede ser en serio.
Marico, vamos a moverla.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of hard to see, but this is like a boat in the harbor area or at the dock. So whatever this boat was, if it was a war vessel of some sort, now it's fish habitat. Well, Edge says, or DG, sorry, says $2 a gallon for gas in 2026. Maybe. It depends how fast you can get it spun up in Texas and get processed, because it's not going to be easy to process. It's some of like the worst crude in the world, right? Which is a problem with it, which is why I think we can only handle it in Texas. But a fun story today is here in South Dakota, where I live, gas is already like $2.06 a gallon, $2.09 a gallon. I bought E85 today for $1.47. $1.47 a gallon. That's right. For E85, which is ethanol gas, right? But here in South Dakota, dirt cheap. There you go. Hey, Melissa Demeanor. Nice to see you, sir. I love how delayed that is. That's how far away this stuff is, right? And that's the miracle of 2026 phones, is you can be like a mile and a half away. So the sound wave has like 15 seconds to get to you. You can be recording it and not even know it. Pacific Northwest Minuteman. I know. I was just there. I was just in Washington, dude. $4 a gallon is crazy. There are some places where you can get it in the low threes, but still miserable. Miserable. I don't know if it's possible, but it would be really cool to see some footage of some F-35s in action. I don't think we're going to get it because they probably did their thing before anybody had their phones out recording, but it would be really cool, okay, really cool if we could get some F-35s in action.
Que lo sentí puedo temblar. Que lo sentí puedo temblar.
So now, for those of you not aware, because I was also not aware, I just looked it up. The population of the city, I think that we're currently looking at, the capital of Caracas, 3 million people. 3 million people. Wild. Yeah, that's right, Reichard. That's right, Reichard. So true, dude. So true, bro. Yeah. People messaging me like, what are you doing up this early? It's like, I haven't gone to sleep yet. But yeah, 3 million people, 2025 in Caracas. Yeah, I would say it's time to get out. Absolute chaos, pandemonium. Now, fortunately, this is not like Gaza or like Iran or like Israel, even, where they're just hitting targets almost indiscriminately where they think something might be there, right? The US is at least going to attempt to be a lot more surgical and reduce the civilian accidents, okay? The civilian incidents as much as possible. Still not going to be perfect, of course, because no one is. But, you know, here in the West, we have a value of human life, generally speaking, where in other countries that is just not the norm. And, you know, civilians are more like a target-rich environment, okay? Churches, what are those? Hospitals, what are those? Children, future terrorists. That's right.
Esa vaina, mira, está viendo la gente, mira cómo está la gente, una locura esta vaina, ¿estás viendo? ¿Ah? Mira.
3 million people trying to get out of the city at one time, dude. Good luck with that. In South America, with women driving, ugh. Tragic. Well, yeah, sure. Okay, so they're staying at a distance, okay, but in my mind, okay, there's something cool going on with F-35s overhead. But yes, they're just like radar extension units, okay? They're guiding the missile in, if you will. All right, fine. Eduardo Espinosa says they're heading for our border. Yeah, you know, that's the sad reality of it. It's like, oh, we took out Maduro and we got cheap oil. Please ignore the million more immigrants at our southern border. Please. Thanks. Thanks for that. Great. I'm so happy.
Está como loca caminando, mira.
Dude, you guys are fighting it out with Mike in the chat over his daughter who joined, dude. You guys are fighting it out. Get him or defend yourself, Mike. I don't care who wins. I just want blood in the chat. Thank you for that.
Okay. Levanta reina.
Oh, that was cool.
Pues llámame mamá.
Vamos bien, Michi. Vamos bien.
Yeah, so I want to watch that again real fast. Was that his camera dimming, or was that half the lights going off? Maybe it was just half the lights going
Ok.
off.
Levantame,
No, that was his camera. Okay. Oh no, I don't know. Hard to tell.
Ay, mira, mamá huevo, ¿cómo sigue explotando? ¡Mamá huevo! ¡Mamá huevo! ¡Uf! ¡Ay, mamá huevo! Erga, se metieron los de la USA, papi. Los que tienen 14 años son más grandes que Kenia. ¡Ay!
I think 1688. What are you talking about? Michelle Obama's BBL saloon was flattened during the raid. A tragic loss for all involved. The world may never recover. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Get me some better footage, please. Ask and you shall receive. All right, so additional attacks have been carried out in multiple areas in the country of Venezuela. The first slide shows a probably MH-60 Blackhawk Night Stalker launching rockets at an unknown location. Wouldn't want to be whoever he's firing at right there. Godspeed, sir. Some refueling tankers are out and about. Last slide showcases a pizzeria near the Pentagon. Increased traffic means busier Department of War. True. A64 add to the M60. Yeah, did reports on the ground. Could go to the comment section. Or maybe it's an M60 then. BF4 showed Battlefield 4 might not look this good. Actually, it might look better considering the quality of camera footage we're getting, phone camera footage we're getting. But this is indeed real life. Venezuela, all your president are ours now. That's really close, actually, dude. I would be driving the opposite direction of whatever just got hit, dude. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear me when the video's going, but that's way too close. If there's missiles going up in the direction I'm driving, I'm turning around. Say no, thank you. Because you know that he's not targeting you. You're nobody. You're nothing. So whatever he is targeting, you need to get away from. You need to not be there anymore. That's a shot. It's a lot of smoke. Whatever was hit over there in the harbor. Damn. There goes some more stuff on fire out in the distance. Post impact of a shipping yard container near the docks. You can see some refueling tankers hanging out. Now, this earlier was reported at being at the airport, so probably some sort of plane, whether or not it was functional, right? Because Venezuela is one of those countries where they have like 3 F-16s. None of them are functional or something like that. They have some like modern airplane, as in like 1980s, but none of them are functional. None of them are actually flyable.
¡Mierda! ¡Mamá! ¡Mierda, mano! ¡Está cayendo unos misiles! ¿Por qué? ¡Está cayendo unos misiles! ¿Por qué? Mira la vaina. Allá, mira. Mira. Por aquí. Dale permiso, que se sube. Mamá, huevo. Mira, ahí viene el otro. No, mira, están incendiados.
Yeah, Bizzato Pizza. Extremely busy right now. Very, very busy. Very, very busy. What do you think about the CZ Bren 2? If you can find one used, well, you're not in America. Here in America, though, if you can find one used for like $1,100, that can be a good deal. Maybe even less sometimes. They're good. Yeah, actually, everybody who put money on Nothing Ever Happens, I called your bet. So. All right, let's see. Give me the bird. Yeah, so a vast amount of damage has been done to certain strategic sites within Venezuela, including the bombing, Freudian slip, of Liguria, the most significant port in Venezuela. So the Higuerete Airport, El Volcan, La Carolata, Fuerte Tiena, and La Liguria Airport. So this is a closer shot of that boat in the harbor, I want to say, because the first shot we saw of it was like a mile away, like at least. But this seems to be a lot closer.
No sé si fue un barco.
we got Maduro before GTA 6. True. It's easier to send a group of deltas halfway across the world, sorry, and get a sitting president from his residence in another country than it is to get GTA 6 out on time. Just to be clear. As far as I'm aware, I have not seen a picture of him. However, Trump did tweet that we have him and his wife in custody as of about 2 hours ago, which means that if my, logistics are correct, they extracted him from the presidential palace, where allegedly 2 Chinese envoys were also there roughly around the same time. So hopefully those guys did not get intercepted or, interacted with much. And then Maduro is probably sitting on an aircraft carrier right now, if not in process of being flown to Mar-a-Lago so he can meet his 11 a.m. deadline, because Trump is going to have a live press conference at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So in about 2 hours. So maybe we'll be up. Why not? I've already ruined my sleep schedule. What's another 2 hours? Maybe after we see Maduro on the Mar-a-Lago lawn, we can actually go to bed. Huh? Too Many Choices says it's FAFO season, but not for Democrats. Well, not for anybody in the Epstein list. Not them. Nope. Not for the people responsible for, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans every year. Not for the people responsible for fraud in your home state. But yeah, Maduro, gotta go. Priorities. All right. No, it's 6 o'clock in the morning here in CST. Right. So EST's. Oh, dude, is that really 4 hours from now? I haven't slept yet. Oh my. Okay. Don't be mean to me. I haven't slept yet, dude. Dog, relax. I haven't slept yet. Well, okay. That's my issue is I was on the West Coast for like 2 weeks. So I thought I was 3 hours behind. I'm only 1 hour behind, dude. I'm sorry. I apologize. I have jet lag. And I'm retarded. Eduardo Espinoza says, there goes my morning walk streak. Well, if the ethnicity matches the username, sir, you need to hit your morning walk. All right. I'm just saying, there's a lot of tortas walking around, and if you're trying to get your steps in, you should still do it. Just listen to it. You'll be fine.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira.
I wonder if that's that barracks. Oops, sorry. I wonder if that's that barracks they mentioned earlier. Sorry, I'm going back to it.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira.
Got some flight trapping. Bruno Rodriguez, I don't care who you are. We strongly condemn the ongoing military aggression by the U.S. against Venezuela. Wah. I think it's like, whether you're anti-war or not, it's like a strongly worded tweet. A strongly worded tweet? Really, bro? That's the best you can do in 2026. A strongly worded tweet. That'll get me to stop. Really? No. Oh, that's a sweaty photo. That's a sweaty Maduro right there, bro. That's a sweaty Maduro. But no, we got him, as the kids say. Let me see here. Where am I going? No, that's not what I want. I'm retarded. So let me see. What do? I go to more, I go to saved, and then I pull up other cool images. That's what I do. Let me see here. One of these has the Burt. I know they do.
Chloe. Le disparan, weón. Ahí está por aquí.
You know what? I'm going to pause for a second. Okay. You guys need to listen to the sweet, sweet Burt. Okay. You guys can hear it. Yeah. You guys got to listen to the sweet, sweet Burt for a minute. I've got to go pee and get a drink. Not alcoholic because I don't drink, but you guys listen to the music and I'll be right back. Okay.
Chloe. ¿Cómo le disparan, weón? Ahí está por aquí. Chloe. ¿Cómo le disparan, weón? Ahí está por aquí. Chloe. ¿Cómo le disparan, weón? Ahí está por aquí. Chloe. ¿Cómo le disparan, weón? Ahí está por aquí. Chloe. ¿Cómo le disparan,
Viper
weón?
going in.
Ahí está por aquí.
Very cool video. Very, very cool. Focus is Edge. Edge? I hope not. A Hypernova versus Ant. True. AH1Z. Mac rounds in atmosphere. True. Apache video is best. Gatling gun going in. Yeah, no, imagine Russia attempting to do something 1% as competent against a neighboring country. Not even like 2,000 miles away, a neighboring country, dude. Although, I do got to give the Russians credit, okay? I did not have a horse charge on my 2026 or 2025 bingo card, sorry. But, yeah. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. It's a work of art, okay? Nuclear bomb versus coughing baby, or hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Very true. Very, very true. All right. I'm sure we have some other fun stuff here, though. That's like another angle of the same thing. That's a good one. This one here's the one we just watched. What's this one? Oh, we know this one. Trying to think. Did any of these guys upload anything new, or do we have any cool news articles that we could pull up real fast? Trying to see, come on, where's the breaking footage at? I probably have to go to Twitter for the breaking footage, to be fair. Although this This is when you knew things were going down, okay? Let me make it to where you guys can see this. Not that one, this one. Breaking. The US Air Force has deactivated all transponders. Not a single one of their flights can be seen on Flight Radar 24 anymore. And this happened like minutes before it all went down. It's like, oh, all right. Turn them all off. All of them. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All gone, huh? Well, that is going to be bad news for you.
Ok, siguen las explosiones, se escuchan helicópteros, son las 1:58 de la mañana. Están atacando el fuerte Fiuna. Ok, siguen las explosiones, se escuchan helicópteros, son las 1:58 de la mañana. Están
I'm just trying to find real fast. Trying to find where would we even have good footage of this? Probably Twitter, unfortunately, or X. Probably has some of the best. I don't want to see South American cope, though. That's the thing. Can I not see South American cope? Is that possible? Here we are, dude. As soon as I turn off latest, we get the real stuff. Please load. Please clap. Jeb Bush would never. All right, never. Oh, buddy. Here we go. Why are my lips so red? Dude, I don't know. When I get tired or I'm about to fall asleep, or well, it's also like 0 degrees outside right now, and I went out and worked out. So my lips get irritated. They just get red sometimes, dude. It's weird. All right. Twitter, please. Gigabit internet, not good enough to handle Twitter. Like, I'm not upset that you're staring at my lips. It's just, weird, okay? For real though, why are you looking? Why are you looking? Why are you looking at his lips? Oh, dude, that's true. Having to drive from Minneapolis to here, to South Dakota, flying from Portland to Minneapolis. A little bit of a change of scenery, just a little bit, all right? Slipstream. Lush coated. Can I not play this video? Are you kidding me? What is going on? I'm going to reload. Please don't go away. What are you doing, Twitter? Hello? Now it's gone. And it's gone. Elon Musk, please. And it's not my fault this time, okay, guys? It's not my fault. I have gigabit internet here. It's not. I know my streams were bad, but I got this image. It's kind of a pretty image. Smoke. It's aesthetic. It's blue. It's not terrible. Can I get a video to play though? Okay, how about this one? Can I get this one to play? I don't know, dude. There's the harbor going up again. Oh, we've kind of seen this one. Giga lip stream focus delicious. Why are you guys going up? You guys are feister in the morning. You guys are chill at night, like relaxed, quiet, serene. Not so much at night. Wild. Oh. John Oliver. Now that's a name I haven't thought of a long time. You might be disgusted to know, but I watched like Stephen Colbert and John Oliver in like 2016 from like a normie Republican mindset, you know, because that was like the first election I could ever vote in. And I was like, these guys, they seem so unfair. Okay. Here's this one. That's the cool one that we've already seen. Season 2 wire about the event. Very cool. I see people messaging me. I don't know if that one's real. I'll save it. Oh my, thank you for sending me that. I don't know if that's real, but I can show it on stream. Like, we all get it. Kai Sinat. What's happening with Kai Sinat? What did you just send me? What is this guy? Nice. Sorry, people are tagging me in things. I'm just trying to make sure that if somebody sends me something, I have it. Now, is this image real? Is this image real? This says DEA, which DEA was not one of the ones theorized to be there. It was, now maybe there was a handoff at some point, right? But FBI, HRT, and Delta. Priority Wire is out. S2 Underground, you guys want me to check it out? I can check it out. Check it out live right now for all you kind gentlemen, so you guys can watch it here. What you want? Okay, here it is. Fine. My Discorders are being very quick with it, so I will go ahead and pin this here. Throw this here. Boom. We got it? We good?
This is The Wire for 11:30 Zulu, January 3rd, 2026. Precedence is priority. Information cutoff is 1000 Zulu. Bottom line up front.
Let me go ahead and pin. I got to put this link in chat, okay? Put the link in chat. Check it out for yourselves. Give them a like. Give them a share. Give them a subscribe. All of that fun stuff, all right? Just putting in hard work. Just like me. Super early in the morning. Not even sleeping properly.
United States begins war in Venezuela. Maduro captured in overnight raid. Beginning with international events, in the Caribbean, the war in Venezuela has begun. Overnight, the United States carried out a helicopter assault force, or half raid, to capture Maduro and his family, which President Trump states was a success. Maduro is currently being flown out of the country, and large-scale airstrikes are being carried out in Caracas. No American casualties have been reported as a result of the operation, and the forces that launched the raid are already out of Venezuelan airspace. Analysts comments for this wire, based on statements made by Maduro's...
Are we sure about that? Because there were Chinooks dropping off ground. At least that was alleged, that there were Chinooks dropping off ground forces. Are they all gone? Did we pull all of them out? Or is he just saying the air assets are out of airspace? Because if we did drop Marines, maybe it was just for very specific items or people or what we were doing. You know, Delta goes after the president and Marines hit secondary objectives, right? So are they all gone? Well, yeah. So, but the whole thing was under 2 hours. Military equipment of a drive-by. Possible. I mean, if that's true, that's true. That's cool. I mean, honestly, that's way better, right? If we actually don't have anybody left in, that's way better. That's fantastic. That's perfect. I would rather there be nobody left in.
As political opposition, he cut a deal. The raid was part of the egress plan to get him out of the country, and he did so willingly. The kinetic nature of the operation was to enable Maduro to escape without his own people killing him, and so far the operation seems to be a success. Whether or not any of this is true is anyone's guess at the moment, but...
That seems strange. I mean, maybe that's possible, but as like a Maduro cover to get himself out of the country, rather than just being turned in by his closest associates, like maybe, but I mean, I guess that he's an evil person, so I don't know if he cares. Like, you know, they're going to kill your own people. Like, there's people at these SAM sites and at these, you know, high value targets that they're going to hit and kill, and you're fine with that just so you can get out of the country. It's possible, dude. It's possible. Sending in Chinooks might be to draw forces away from Maduro's location, not to drop troops. It's all theoretically possible, right? Because all we have is like 10, 15, 20-second video clips.
But that's the story. Concerning battle damage in Caracas, substantial strikes have taken place. Once the sun rises,
CRS says there were SAM sites that fired on us. We likely have a handful of casualties. Well, if a helicopter went down, I don't see us pulling out and leaving them there. Right? Because if we had a helicopter go down, not confirmed KIAs, right? Especially how low they were flying. I mean, if that's true, again, this is all speculation at this point.
a more thorough examination of what happened can take place, but right now it looks like most of the military capability in Caracas has been taken offline, with heavy airstrikes hitting Fort Tiuna, as well as La Carlota Air Base. This concludes the wire for 11:30 Zulu, January 3rd, 2026.
Good video. Kind of everything we already know. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a lot of speculation, right? As are the nature of things this early on in the conflict. We just have no idea. So, in the earlier reporting here that we watched when this was kicking off, this is an article that says, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what correspondent they have on here, but he alleges that it was inside information, like a coup from the inside to get him out. So AOC is in the fetal position? Probably. Let's quickly go back through this again.
The President of the United States, Donald Trump, has just posted a statement on Truth Social. This is the first public acknowledgement by the United States. I will read it for you, just seeing this pop up on my phone as we speak while texting back and forth with senior advisors at the White House. From the President of the United States, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow, according to the president. There will be a news conference, he says, today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. He then punctuates it, as he often does, with thanks for your attention to this matter. It is signed by the president. So again, I want to repeat two of the key sentences in there. He confirms that the U.S. carried out this large-scale strike against Venezuela, and he says that its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. So, according to the President of the United States, Nicolas Maduro is no longer on the ground in Venezuela. It leaves open a bit of a vacuum there in terms of leadership. It's not entirely clear who is effectively running.
This just in, a leftist judge has ordered Maduro released without bail. Trump says, sorry, but my hands are tied.
That country at this time. I just want to get your immediate reaction to the news that we are hearing again in a True Social post from the President of the United States.
Well, this changes everything. This means that this was a regime change operation and that this was had some degree of coordination. Witnesses earlier described helicopters. Witnesses described low-flying aircraft. I was taken aback by what you just said, that Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been taken into custody. That means there were either local forces on the ground or local forces working with Americans to hand over the leader and bring him out of
That's right. The from the Venezuelan civilian training videos where that 400-pound torta was waddling around, shaking and jiggling. That is now the front line against the U.S. Marines.
The country. An extraordinary development. We just saw a regime change operation take place quickly in the early hours. You said, does it leave a power vacuum? I know that for the last several months, there have been conversations going on through.
Yes, I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. They actually brought his wife along as a method of torture against Maduro, right? To get him to crack faster. Not to like torture her and make Maduro watch, and that would break him psychologically or whatnot. No. Just to like have them in an enclosed space, uncomfortable for long periods of time. And that will get Maduro to talk or whatever.
Intermediaries with the generals and the top leaders around Maduro, trying to convince them to turn on him, to hand him.
See, again, whoever this CBS, NBC commentator is. He's saying, oh, we've been trying to weasel in with people close to him in the administration, you know, generals or people in his, whatever it might be, right? Whatever it might be. So whether it's a op from Maduro himself to get out of the country safely and just say, screw the rest of you, I'm leaving, let the Americans kill you, like just dictator things, am I right? Or if it's one of his own turning him in and, you know, coordinating with others to just kind of let him go, right? Also just dictator things, right? Sorry, you're a third world hellhole, or a second world, technically.
Over to allow him to be arrested and to get him to use the phrase.
Well, actually, very true. Delta actually got it done better, though. Let's be real. Okay, SEALs, a little busy with the book deals, a little busy with the booger sugar. Okay, maybe they really wanted to go down here. They've heard some great things about Colombia, but it was actually because they had too many financial ties to Colombia already that Delta was selected over the SEALs.
What we had heard earlier, to cry uncle. He wasn't crying uncle, and now it seems he was arrested. An extraordinary.
Okay, now again, this is all optics and gay and retarded, but new golf partner is very funny. Thinking about Maduro and Trump playing a round of golf at Mar-a-Lago together in like 4 hours from now. It's very funny, right? It's very funny. Now it's like one pedo playing golf with another is like, I don't know if Maduro is a pedo. I don't want to slander him, but you know, gay communist, whatever euphemism you want to use for him. It's all just a bit strange. But the optics, okay, the optics are good.
Development.
Now,
it
Richard
started out with some boat strikes, and then it to a military campaign on.
That's true. The boys at 6 are far too busy helping out Dan Crenshaw right now.
A military campaign on land, and now a military operation and an arrest.
And Richard, that of course, it opens up a lot.
Development.
I apologize for interrupting again. That breaking news that according to the President of the United States, the U.S. has now successfully launched, carried out, as he says, what was a large-scale strike attacks in and around Caracas, the capital city of Venezuela. Beyond that, he says that the U.S. has captured, and flown out of the country Nicolas Maduro and his wife. And Richard, I bring this up because it's significant for a variety of reasons. Nicolas Maduro, only a matter of days ago, said in a new interview that he was open to negotiating with Washington to combat drug trafficking, the first sign that this pressure campaign was taking its toll. The questions that it raises now are,
well, and that's another thing that leads me to believe that maybe Maduro wasn't in on it. Because just like yesterday, like just hours before he got abducted, he was saying, oh, okay, whatever you want, you know, we'll do it. He was like giving the U.S. whatever he wanted, which if he was pretending and he was, you know, about to get abducted by the U.S. government and he knew that and he was in on it, he would want to put up a strong front. Sure. Right. Sure. I don't know. I mean, you know, just theorizing here at this point.
Is there any resistance?
Terrible golfer, horrible short game. Just didn't notice me coming in the middle of the night, and I snuck up behind him and got his hole in one.
Resistance by Maduro when this took place? Was this in some way negotiated with those around him? Those are questions we have on the ground. As you say, the U.S. swept in and did this.
We totally penetrated deeply his airspace.
Under the veil of darkness. It took place very quickly. We don't know what may have occurred on the ground right now, but it raises a lot of real questions about what, if any, conversations did exist in any form with Nicolas Maduro, or if this was the first contact when, in effect, the United States military was knocking on his door and sweeping up him and his wife and taking them out of the country.
Well, so Septic McSabwood says, how is the legacy media going to spin this into Orange Man bad? Just call Trump racist because Maduro is brown? Well, yes, right. Attacking a brown country. Very bad, right? Ooh, we would never do that. But I would say, well, this might be bad for the refugee crisis, because imagine if Venezuelans now get to qualify as refugees of war. It also is a big distraction, as people are saying in the chat, from from the Epstein files. Okay, what Epstein files? Look at this. I got somewhere over here. I got freaking attack choppers and the Burt, dude. Like, I don't need Epstein files, dude. Just give me some more minigun action, okay? I'll shut up now, okay? Just give me the minigun action and you can keep your Epstein files, okay? Like, all right, look at this. Look at this, dogs.
¿Cómo le disparan, bro? Venga por aquí.
Epstein files? What Epstein files, dog? I've seen the videos, okay? They're pretty cool. Videos are pretty cool, dog. I don't need to see the files anymore. I'm good. We'll get to some of these real fast because we've been going for an hour and a half. AR for 5 says we can't deport light bulb headed tards, but we can capture presidents. Yes. Again, Minnesota fraud, way too big to handle. A federal judge will tell me no. He'll slap my pee-pee, so I can't do that. However, I can extract a president from a sitting country in his country from his residence in the middle of the night flawlessly 4,000 miles away. Yes, that I can do. Tax fraud, not so much. Donsel says finally caught a live stream. Hey, John, how are the T91 uppers holding up? I may have asked before, but not sure. Either way, Happy New Year. What a year. Yeah, what a way to start the year, right? Crazy footage. The T91 uppers are good. Now, as far as like long-term durability, dude, I don't know. I had mine for a couple years and they were always good, but I sold them off. I don't have them anymore. I sold them off after a couple years. You know, I do that. I keep almost nothing. It's a very small amount of things that I actually keep. Thank you, Donsel. Appreciate it, sir. Happy New Year. Mass Mark for 2 says, so much for the golden age and no new wars. Well, I don't know if you can call this a war. I mean, it's like on a technical level, it's probably a war, right? But I don't know how much fighting back they're going to be doing, right? I mean, especially if all of the forces are actually gone, like it's over. Your president is ours. Sorry, bro. But yeah, I do appreciate that concern. I understand. Thank you, Mass. Battle Rifles for 2 says, look, IPCS will be back to Venezuela finally. Yeah. Yeah, you never know. The future is full of promise. Clay Cable for $20 says, first time I could catch a live stream in a while. Thanks. Thank you, Clay Cable, for the $20. That is insanely based of you. Thank you very much. That's literally me right now. Thank you, Clay Cable. Coral Weezer for 2 says, good morning. Christ is king. Christ is king. And you should probably be praying for the people of our country, the people of Venezuela, the soldiers involved. Pray for a safe return for everybody and a quick return to order. Thank you, Coral Weezer. Carrie Handle for 2 says, I love the smell of regime change in the morning. Yeah, dude, it's going to be an interesting couple of days, I guess, to figure out what's going to happen in Venezuela. You know, how Maduro's doing, who was in on it, how it happened, all of that. Thank you, Carrie Handle. Appalachia 8 for $10 says, John, you're mistaken. Delta doesn't exist. Therefore, nothing actually happened. Yeah, that's the one funny thing about Delta is they change their name like every few years, right? So it's I forget what it's called now because they just changed it. It's like FOE or something, FOE, right? Or maybe that's somebody else I'm thinking about. But yeah, they don't exist. So technically they didn't do anything. They may not exist, but they do own your president. Everyday American for 5 says, so the U.S. waltzed in, hit some targets, dropped some dudes off. That is exactly what it looks like. Yeah, they waltzed in, Chinooks, M60s, all the other fun stuff, grabbed the president alive and dipped. Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. That's apparently, allegedly, that is exactly what happened. We slapped him around for a couple hours and then we left. Sounds like the U.S. still got it. Okay, there's a reason why we don't have free healthcare, okay? Venezuela is finding out the hard way. Why? Well, they also don't have free healthcare. Or if they do, it's horrifying. But yeah, they're gonna learn. Son, you gonna learn. Next time I'm not asking. Well, I wasn't asking the first time either. But yeah, I mean, just helos flying right overhead, you know. There were Chinooks, so I don't know if they actually dropped off soldiers, if they dropped off Marines, because it did say that they hit 5 different locations. So I don't know if they dropped off Marines at a certain location for a certain time and then dipped, right? I don't know if there's still Marines there. I don't know if there's any presence there, if they're all already gone. Everyday American for 2, says gas better be $1.50. Yeah, I mean, so we should get the oil from this. Because if I remember correctly, or if I am correct, the oil is heading from Venezuela to neighboring countries, of course, and then to Iran, Russia, and China. Now, we've intercepted over the last couple weeks, like what, 5 tankers? And last I heard, we were chasing a Russian tanker somewhere in the ocean. We were chasing one of them. So we've already taken their tankers. Some of them. We are shutting down exports to Iran, Russia, China, for sure. And then that is going to head to Texas. Now, Venezuelan crude is really bad. It's terrible, really rough. So that is going to be going to Texas, where I think that's the only place where we have facilities in America that can actually handle their crude. So depending on how long the trade deals, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, take to get set up with the new administration in Venezuela, right? Because whoever takes power, I'm sure it'll be more kind to America, let's say. And whatever gets set up there, give it a couple weeks, couple months, and then we'll get some stuff flowing into, literally and figuratively, into the US from Venezuela. And then a few more months after that, when, you know, processing and prices settle and stuff like that, we could be looking at cheaper gas in 2026, which is good, right? That's a good thing. Plus no Russia and China interference in South America. That's another good thing, right? The border crisis will probably get a little worse. The refugee crisis will probably get a little worse, you know, so pros and cons. Thank you, Everyday American. Greatly appreciate that, sir. Owens Bain becomes a member for 2 months, says, damn, what a wake up. Skibbity toilet riz? Skibbity toilet riz? True.
Skibbity toilet riz? Okay.
Everyday American for 5 says either the U.S. completely overestimated the resistance they'd face, or they wanted to be extremely sure no Americans die during this whole thing. Well, so this is risky, right? No matter which way you cut it, okay, because this is a lot of Americans, right? We got Chinooks and M60s and all their fun stuff. This is a lot of Americans. Plus, again, which one was it? Was it Conflict Observer? So again, allegedly, we sent in Delta and the FBI HRT to get this guy, right? So we had a lot of our own high value assets over there. And imagine if we lost like 10 Delta guys or like a couple Chinooks, right? Trump's presidency would be like over. A unauthorized, disastrous attack on a foreign country. Imagine if it had failed. There was some risk at play. There was some risk at place. So it is extremely lucky that it went well. Extremely lucky that it went well. Or maybe not lucky, but, you know. Again, I'm very tired. I haven't slept yet. There's some degree of luck in how well it went. Plus, probably coming overcompensating, which is how you should do it. Hit everything that could possibly be a target. Send in way more than you need. Not enough to overexpose yourself, but just the right amount of overcompensation. James Wyatt says the no American casualties, right? I have not seen anything reported so far that indicates any American casualties. Now, if only we could be quite so efficient at literally anything else. Everyday American for $10. Very, very kind of you, sir. Says, feels like world leaders are kind of letting each other do what they want in their specific regions, except for Taiwan and China. Well, Taiwan's a crazy one, dude. That's a powder keg waiting to happen. Taiwan is insanely important to the US for chips, for computers. It's like 50, 60, 70% of the world's chips come out of there. Very important. So if China says, nah, you don't get that no more, we got problems. We got lots of problems. So that's a big one. Venezuela, okay, China, Russia, Iran, they get less oil, right, from Venezuela, even though it's shitty oil, right? Still a big deal, but not the biggest deal. If we're don't think World War III is ever going to happen as long as no one steps on each other's toes. Yeah, this is about as close to you get as stepping on each other's toes without being catastrophic. Good morning, Andy Ray. Appreciate you. Glad to see you last night. Glad to see you here now. Yeah, dude, nothing ever happens, guys, on suicide watch right now. Dude, we literally stole a president in the middle of the night. Kind of baller. Now, again, this is just Twitter. This image is floating around. No idea if that's real or not, dog. Let me see here. Actually, this is Pam Bondi, retard in charge. But let's see what does Pam Bondi have to say on this situation. All right. Let me blow this up. There we go. There we go. Nicolas Maduro and his dude, get away. Go away, Grok. My gosh. Do retards actually use Grok? Do you guys actually get Grok? Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Ciela Flores, thank you for naming her, very important, have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. Like, are they there? That's wild fast if they got him there. Nicolas Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices. You can't charge a president of a foreign country with possession of machine guns and destructive devices? What are you talking about? What? And conspiracy to... What? Unless you're saying like the transportation of illegal guns through America by your drug gangs? What? The NFA is international now. News to me, dude. They will soon face the full wrath of the American justice on American soil in American courts. So listen, the people saying that Maduro was in on it, maybe she's lying, but it doesn't seem from her tweet. Keep in mind that, thank you, Lost Arrow, she is an actual idiot, but she's blonde. All right. But she's blonde. Which I guess is what Trump wants. Trump's strategy for a while was hiring the blonde with the biggest tits, which aesthetically works out. But as far as assembling an elite team with the highest brain power, not quite the best. Not quite the best. They will soon face the full wrath of American justice on American soil and American courts. On behalf of the entire U.S. DOJ, I would like to thank President Trump for having the courage to demand accountability on behalf of the American people. And a huge thank you to our brave military who conducted the incredible and highly successful mission to capture those two alleged... You're using the word alleged. You just captured a sitting president in a sovereign nation, and you're using nonsense like alleged. Like, come on. You just say it, dude. Just say it, dog. Say it. Two alleged international narco traffickers. Pam Bondi, actual retard, 625. And then the tweet underneath this is pretty good. Really? Trump pardons drug kingpins even as he escalates U.S. drug war rhetoric. It's not about the drugs, kids. It's not alleged we kidnapped, bro. Yeah. Wild sentence. Wild sentence in 2026, dude. All right. Oh, Mr. Sausage. Got it right. But yeah, it's not about the drugs, kids. Not about the drugs. All right. There's going to be lots of cope on Twitter tonight, gentlemen. In the morning, I should say. Yeah, oil, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. So again, this image is floating around. No idea if that's real. No idea if that's true in any way, shape, or form. Also, thank you to the guys that are on my Discord right now, like chasing down all this fun stuff. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Tag me in anything you want. Anything you want to show on stream, I'll show it for you guys. Bondi does, but Millennia won't. Well, it's in the name, isn't it? Unfortunately, but appropriately named Pam Bondi. Yeah, I don't think this image is real, but I mean, you get the idea. Okay. Now here's some cope. As it appears, the USA have tonight begun their unprovoked, unjustified, and illegal war of aggression against Venezuela. Well, I think you misspelled manifest destiny, but c'est la vie. We expect from the EU the already well-rehearsed standard moral procedure, admittedly sever all diplomatic, raw material, and other relations. Throw the Euro... look at... Throw the USA out of the Eurovision Song Contest. That'll do it. Yeah, that's right. Throw us out of the Eurovision Song Contest, bro. That the best you got? That's it? They can't stay in FIFA. They're clumsy soccer. Oh yeah, soccer ball. America loves so much soccer ball. Soccer ball, dog. Yeah, we love the soccer ball. Ban American literature. And invite Maduro. Maduro's ours. Maduro's our property. So how about you back up, ask nicely, and maybe we'll let him come out and play for a couple minutes, okay? All right. All right. But until then, sit down. Sit down, bud. Yeah, invite Maduro. He's in a jail cell right now, or most likely he's on a plane on his way back to a jail cell right now. I'm sure he'll be comfortable in jail. I mean, come on, he's a president, all right? Let's be respectful. In a tour in camouflage gear to assure him as long as it takes. And from now on, we write Venezuela just as Venezuela writes itself. Some nonsense language that is not American, so I don't care. Also, photo goes hard. Thank you for that. Martin Sonneborn. German. I'm not quite at 2 hours in the stream yet, so I can't say faggot yet. But if I could, I would. I don't know if any of this stuff is real. Some cool shots. This one here is the harbor shot. This is a good one. William, we should make Maduro sing our Eurovision song. That's kind of based, actually. Yeah, Jeb Bush did it. He called up Donald and he was like, please capture. Please capture. Yeah. Again, just some good shots, harbor shots. Let's see. Do we have it? I want to see some new footage. Okay, I've seen most of the stuff. Yeah, that's our boys. We get it. Now, I mean, listen. Yeah. It's cool and everything. Trump, doing something. That's super awesome. But still a gay retard. Okay, we haven't forgotten about the Epstein files. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Okay. Not gonna forget, dog. All right, just because the U.S. military can do some cool things across the world, right? Yeah, I don't know. It could be crappy. It could be a video, a picture of a picture. The gun looks okay. The kit looks okay. I mean, it's blurry and it's bad and it's not very detailed, but nothing is telling me outright that it's crazy fake. Civilian Tactical, hope you're having a good morning, sir. Says, Venezuela got so bad I lived in Chile from 2016 to 2018. I met countless Venezuelan refugees. They lost 25% of their whole population. They just ran out of there when the food ran dry. That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, exactly. Keep on. Remember, guys, no Epstein files. Like no Russian, like no Epstein files. And I mean, this is how it started, right? This is how it started, right? How it started, how it's going. You know, we blow up a couple skiffs out in the Pacific Ocean or wherever it is, right? I don't really care. I'm also way too tired to attempt proper geography at this point in time. But yeah, first we turned some boats into, you know, debris. Very funny. And then we capture your president because we think it's cool. Because we think it's cool. And I mean, let's be real here. Can I get some? I want some more footage of the helicopters. Can I get more footage of the helos doing their thing? Those are the best. That's the best footage. I'm pretty sure this is Israel Iran footage. This is not Venezuelan footage. This is Israel Iran footage. I recognize this. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you try and pull a fast one on me while I'm sleeping or while I should be asleep? Cope. Oh, here we
Samedi, les États-Unis ont frappé le Venezuela.
2 seconds ago.
À Caracas, de puissantes explosions ont retenti peu avant 2 heures du matin.
Yeah, very cool.
Ont duré plus d'1 heure. Des forces américaines seraient déployées dans la capitale. Donald Trump annonce que
you can hear, dude, it all sounds the same to me, dude. Vive la France. Dude, I wish, make France French again. How about that? Yeah, quick. Post Armor Reforged gameplay. True. Bunch of yacked out dolphins. What the heck, dude? What the heck are you talking about? All right, well, fair enough. I did say post anything, and I would check it out and show it on stream. So this does technically count. Where did I put it? That's right. Get checkmate, Latinx. That's how you pronounce that, right? Checkmate, Latinx. Cerebral Firearm says, I know you don't like this tactic, but the OD deaths in America has gone down tremendously in 2025, the first in a long time. That's good to hear. I think that would be multifactorial, though, right? I don't think it's simply hitting a couple drug boats in, you know, in the waters outside of Venezuela. I don't think that's doing it. Maybe it's, you know, more ICE raids. Maybe it's less people coming across. Maybe it's self-deportations. It's got to be maybe it's less importation from China, which I know that Trump was trying to do something with China on that. So maybe it's a bunch of different factors working together. Again, I know that drugs come from Venezuela, but it's a very small percentage. If I'm correct on that, I think it's a very small percentage. I don't care who it's from, dude. It's funny, Arrow. It's funny, dude. Sorry, as I'm dying here, quite literally. Let me see. Oh, dude, here's the tortas. Here's the tortas. This is their civilian forces, quote unquote, or people, I guess, just being trained in the last like month or so because they were, you know, to boost morale. You give them some guns, you let them run around, and they feel like they can do something against, you know, F-35s and cruise missiles. Good luck. No, so as a civilian tactic, as we said earlier, the main city, Caracas, however you pronounce it, 3 million people. Big boy city. Has more population than the entirety of the state of South Dakota, all right? Sir, send him the tortoise. Who's Maduro? Who's Maduro? Where is Maduro? Oh. Well, you see, this is the people that we're dealing with. It was the people. El Barrito Team says. True. Who must go? Who must go? Who? She thought the line was a buffet. Yeah, I thought the fire in line was just a really good buffet, dude. Fire in line sounds like a really good buffet, dude. Not quite.
Maduro, as mãos pra cima, cintura solta, sou do levante, tô com Maduro, as mãos pra cima, cintura solta, sou do levante, tô com Maduro.
Okay, that's kind of cringe, guys. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Give me back my 40 seconds of life. Protest. Go away. This is a cool one. I like this one. Hitting something out in the harbor. Well, I'm pretty sure that was filmed earlier in support of Maduro, which poor timing. Poor timing. Now, this is interesting. Venezuelans begin to gather in Miami to celebrate the capture of Nicolas Maduro. Because again, what Civilian Tactical said earlier, like a quarter of the country just left. So there's a large dissident population that does not like Maduro, right? Make Maduro play Uma Musumi. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's very funny. It's a funny idea. It will provide fentanyl to the leftist junkies now. Funny, but they have a lot of them. I wouldn't worry about that. No. Who is this? What retard is this? We condemn Trump's war on Venezuela. Don't care. Strongly worded statement. Shut up. I don't care. This from Inevitable West says breaking thousands of Venezuelans are waking up and celebrating the news of communist dictator Maduro being captured by U.S. forces. What time is it there? It's 7 o'clock there right now. So the sun's up, right? Sun's up in South America right now. Again, if real, this random video I find on Twitter of people cheering in the morning, if real, like, you're welcome, I guess. I'm not smart enough to know whether that's really Venezuela or what they're saying, so. Sorry, people texting me and I'm retarded. Too many things going at the same time. I don't care. Show me war footage, okay? That's what I want. Oh, wow, that's some cope right here from Hader Al-Husani. Okay. Monsters and beasts who destroyed the countries of the world. Where do you get the authority to dominate peoples? God. Manifest destiny. The United States reminds me of the people of the movie Avatar. Oh, yeah. Blue guy good, white man bad, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, Al-Husseini. It's funny that you're speaking in English, by the way. They invade countries, kill people, and plunder their resources. Well, I'm gonna guess by your name, you're, Islamic or Muslim of some variety. Don't care which one, but I'll be happy to inform you of your history, which is 100 years of jihad, right? Rightfully stopped by the Crusades, by the way. So you're welcome. Very funny, though. Yeah, Marvel slop, Avatar slop. Yeah, blue people good or something retarded. Cope. I want to see more footage, though. Okay, let's be real. I want to see more footage. President Trump dancing. Okay. Oh, this is a classic. Gosh dang it, I'm muted again because I'm clearing my throat. Had you considered that all the Jew propaganda movies agree with me and disagree with you? I've called myself the good guy and you the bad guy. Would you consult your own name, Mr. Bad Guy? Don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel silly? Don't you feel ashamed of yourself, Mr. Bad Guy? Yeah, me good, you bad, bro. True. Deadspeed says I can't wait for the Tim Kennedy tell-all book to come out about this. I mean, listen, he's literally the pilot and the missiles. He's literally the missile. They're like, we're out of missiles. What do we got? It's Tim Kennedy hanging on the end. Just fire him down there. He'll take care of it for us. Yeah, the 160 SOAR on camera is nuts. It's cool. It's cool. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Funny image. Again, don't know if that's real. Nobody knows if that image is real or not. Putin's like, they got him how fast? They took him out of the country? No casualties? What? They didn't get bogged down in a forever war fighting over inches? What? What? Maduro flags coming down. That's 10 minutes ago. Again, this looks real from 10 minutes ago. People in Venezuela taking down Maduro flags. Well, so if you didn't know, guys who are just new here cycling in, it was Delta, allegedly. No SEALs were involved. No books will be written. We have some cool Delta guys and FBI HRT. So that's allegedly who got it done. Wait, you extracted hostages? You didn't kill them? Is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Russian. This is from Marco Rubio. I don't know how. Oh, this is from 2 hours ago. Okay. Maduro, Freudian slip. Maduro is not the president of Venezuela, and his regime is not the legitimate government. Maduro is the head of the cartel de los Solos, a narco-terror organization which has taken possession of a country, and he is under indictment for pushing drugs into the United States. Kind of based. You know, it's close, okay? So now this is a live viewing of supporters of Nicolas Maduro gather in Caracas. Again, there's 3 million people in the city. As they're waking up, cleaning up the rubble, and figuring out who's in charge, what's going on. Free Maduro. Okay, gay retard number 4. Not sure. That's from Senator Marco Rubio. Foreign language. Indians, don't really care. Venezuela liberated. Somebody dancing in the streets, allegedly. Again, I'm sure pictures have been taken, many of them, but I don't know which ones are real or not yet. Football, not a real sport. Not a real sport, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that upsets like half the country. Well, not half this country, but half of, fake countries out there. Not real ones. We literally did steal the president of Venezuela faster than most soccer teams score a goal in soccer. We literally sent Delta in, stole a president and his wife, for good measure, faster than most elite soccer teams score a goal. You wouldn't download a president. No, we would onload him onto a little bird, offload him onto a carrier, and then load him back onto a jet to get to the USA. We would do that. All right. Well, here's a good video. Here's something interesting. Let me copy and paste this over here, gentlemen.
Why don't any politicians in the Congress put the open air drug market in Philadelphia above the threat of Hamas?
Well, I think you have an answer of sorts. And it comes, interestingly enough, from Mrs. Machado. She's the lady that just won the Nobel Peace Prize, and she's from Venezuela. And she said, if we're liberated by the U.S. Armed Forces and they remove Maduro, our first act will be to move the Venezuelan embassy to Jerusalem.
What does that have to do with... I'm completely confused. Like, what?
She's hit on something very important. She's figured out where the power lies, and she's playing to the audience that makes the decisions. And I think we can...
Oh. You don't say. You don't say. Oh. Really? I need to hear that again, okay? I'm just going to let him play it from the beginning.
Why don't any politicians in the Congress put the open-air drug market in Philadelphia above the threat of Hamas?
Well, I think you have an answer of sorts. And it comes, interestingly enough, from Mrs. Machado. She's the lady that just won the Nobel Peace Prize, and she's from Venezuela. And she said, if we're liberated by the U.S. Armed Forces and they remove Maduro, our first act will be to move the Venezuelan embassy to Jerusalem.
What does that have to do with... I'm completely confused. Like, what?
She's hit on something very important. She's figured out where the power lies, and she's playing to the audience that makes the decisions. And I think we can pretty much conclude that we're ruled now by a small group of extraordinarily wealthy people. Billionaire oligarchs. Those are the terms they use in Eastern Europe and places like Ukraine.
Yeah.
I think they're in charge. I think they're calling the shots.
That's a very... very interesting theory you got there. Would be a shame if everything lined up perfectly. As it just magically tends to do sometimes. I don't know. It's just weird. It just be weird like that, all right? Can I go to his account real fast? Conflict Observer. Let me see here. There we go. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to see if anyone has any additional footage that we're getting out of it, but we might have exhausted all of the cool footage like 2 hours into our stream, dudes. Blue Animal for 5 says, was listening to last night's podcast in the squad car when this news broke. Just got home and surprise, another podcast. Well, thank you very much, Blue Animal, for the 5. Hope you had a good night. Hope you're still having a good morning. Probably not the morning you were expecting to have right before you go to bed to listen to me talk about Venezuela getting absolutely rolled, crushed, destroyed, murdered. Well, not even murdered, really. Finessed, okay? Took your president. We got your president. We got your president. Thank you, Blue Animal. Appreciate it, man. Boogie Down Syndrome for 2 says, I ain't been here long, but this is early and gay. No, this is early and straight. You guys were complaining last night that I was like, a few minutes late to the stream, guys. Come on. I gave you an additional 2.5 hours, 3 days early, dog. But yeah, so for those of you guys just rolling in, it is now confirmed that tonight's operation to capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was carried out by the U.S. Army's 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment, Delta, widely known as Delta Force. FBA HRT were also believed to be present during the operation. And so you can see some of the footage. We'll go back through some of the footage because it's cool, because it's good. It's fun. Some of you guys haven't seen it yet. Everyday American for 5 says, hiring a woman as a lead lawyer was the biggest mistake I think I've ever seen. It didn't work out great. Didn't work out great. Everyday American for 2 says, looks real. AI can't do guns and kit. Usually, but what they would do is they would take a real image, cut out whoever the real hostage was, and then put Maduro in there, right? That's how I would do it if I was trying to fake an image. I would take a real image and then adjust it. Thank you, Everyday American. Dildo Faggins for 2 says, get shit on your ass. Get shit on your ass. Thank you, Trump. Not Robert Kinley for 2 says, Monroe Doctrine activates in this economy. Very true, Robert. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Monroe Doctrine for sure. You know, we'll take out a player for Russia and China. Yeah. We'll take their oil, which is good, right? Okay. We'll install an Israeli puppet. in Maduro's place. That's not so great, and will destabilize the region and worsen the refugee crisis of Venezuela. Also not great. Although, like, what's an ideal world here, right? So maybe. Sorry, I had to listen to the video for a second. But no, what's the best case scenario? So yeah, Russia and China no longer have access to Venezuela. They don't get to, do funny things in South America because we've kind of restricted that a little bit. We get the oil, so our gas gets a little cheaper. They get less oil, so their gas gets more expensive. That's good. But what if we installed a new person in Venezuela who's actually really good at their job, and then all of the Venezuelan migrants that are destabilizing the region and us head back to Venezuela? Is that even possible? Could that even happen? It's possible. That's like pipe dream. Unlikely, though. That's John reaching for the stars, bro. Chris Bennett for 2 says she's holding the line. Yeah, the line up at Denny's, bro. Talking about that torta. The torta soldier doing her thing. Attempting to do her thing. Actually, I'll let it play. Ghost Axios for 5 says it's a weird feeling seeing grainy footage of U.S. gun running something and not hearing 10 people with extra chromosomes yelling Allahu Akbar. It's different, man. Again, people are saying it. We got GWAT in Middle East. Are we going to get not the GWAT but the GWAD, Global War on Drugs? But just now in South America, we get the GWAD. Maybe that's cool. I don't know. Latinas versus FGM females and Middle Eastistan. Central Sands Defense for 5 says, oh, great. More Special Forces books coming in 10 years. Well, it's funny, right? Larry Vickers was part of the Panama raid in 89, right? The thick blue line. That's good. Larry Vickers was part of the Panama raid in 89, if I'm remembering things correctly. So, and he was Delta. So these new Delta guys, they probably got like a 20-year, 15-year before they start talking, because Delta tends to be quieter than everybody else. Not silent, but they tend to be quieter than everybody else. Thank you, Central Sands Defense. Appreciate it. Hoping you're having a good morning, man. Hopefully you're not on call right now or on duty, dude. Merlin for 5 says, good morning, friends. Christ is king. Christ is king. Thank you very much for that. All right, over on Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi supporter Anonymous says, gas is about to get real cheap, boys. Well, we hope so. Well, we certainly hope so. Let's see. Yeah, and you can see here what appears to be... Again, this is about 6 hours ago at this point, so allegedly, everybody's pulled out. Everybody's gone. If they did land Marines somewhere in Venezuela, they're pulled out. So allegedly, from what we've heard, the latest updates that I've seen is that everybody's gone. Everybody's gone out of there, and we got Maduro, and now we're just looking back.
Huevo, qué locura. Moscaí. Mira esa mierda, explotaron allá toda esa mierda, porque tú no estás explotando. Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esta mierda, ¿oyó? Huevo. Marico, llegamos a tiempo a la casa, ¿oyó? Marico, mira esa mierda.
All right, where's the cool one? I want to see the cool one again. I think it's over here. No, that's not it. Which one of these has really good audio on it? I forget which one it is. It's the one that sounds the best. Actually, I think it's in my saved. I'll have to go find it. I wish things were easier to find and easier to get to, but man, I'm about to go to bed, dogs. I don't know how much longer I've got in me. And I don't know how many more updates there's going to be because it feels like it's all gone. It's all over, right? We're chill now. No, it's not that. This one. There it is.
¿Cómo le disparan, weón? Venga por aquí.
Yeah. Would not want to be those those homies that were getting shot at right there, dude. G-Twat Alchemist for 2 says, did somebody say G-Twat? I'm ready, brothers. No, it's going to be G-Wad, dog. G-Wad, global war on drugs. Although it could be G-Wat again, global war on tacos. Somebody put that in the chat. That's good. Global war on tacos. Possible. That Kyle guy says, Focus Group, good morning, y'all. Sounds like the guys at Fort Bragg got something to brag about now. True. Hope you're having a good morning. No, it's 7:21 here. I have not slept here. Yet. Sorry. Again, haven't slept yet, so I'm a little out of it. A little dead. My voice is gone. I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. Got home from the gym at about 3 o'clock this morning and spent some time with my wife. And then I pull up just my Explorer, and the top tagline is Venezuela currently under attack. And it's like, excuse me? So we've been here for about 2.5 hours. Gray Gulo for 5 says, getting my daughter ready for her 4th birthday. Well, tell her happy birthday from us and the rest of the chat. My daughter is 3 years old, going to be turning 4 this year, but hopefully 4 is better than 3 because 3 is a little rough sometimes. Getting my live news from an early Focus stream. Well, happy birthday. Dude, I'm so tired. I almost said Merry Christmas. Happy birthday to your daughter, and I hope you have a blessed 4th year with her. That is great. G-Twat's back says, global war on torta. I can get down with it, brother. I'm going to get down with the tortas. All right. All right, let's go. Yankee Doodle. See, I can't even read your name right now. Yankee Doodle Ronnie Noodle says, if we keep Focus awake long enough, do you think he'll accidentally say a slur? No, I will on purpose say faggot. I can get away with that. We're after 2 hours now. I can say faggot all I want, dog. Post a 2 hour. I can say any slur I want, dude. What are they gonna do to me? We're invading Venezuela right now, and you think faggot's a problem? You think dude, what else? I could get away with a lot probably right now. Because it's funny enough, I don't think any real Asian people watch the slurs. So if I say like gook or something, I don't think they're gonna have a problem with it. Maybe. But the thing is, all the people doing the reporting, they're all Indian. So as long as I keep the Indian slurs to a minimum, I think we're all right. Triska says, whoa, not that one. Not that one. That one upset me. I'm sorry. So slope is funny because slope is just like a word you would use normally, all right? Like the slope is very steep on this hill, so you got to be careful, all right? But like, I think the most inclusive one is Chinks, personally, because it's Chinex, spelled Chinex, of course, because it's everybody from China, not just, because there's lots of ethnic groups in China. They're dominated by the Han, but, Chinks. Chinks is a good one. Actually, the first time I heard some Asian slurs were from a Vietnam vet. Funny story. This is going to be weird, guys, okay? While I was working at a grocery store at 16 years old, I had an older guy come in, and I was helping him with something, right? And he was saying, yeah, I only come to this store. I don't go to Walmart anymore. They got too many. And he just started listing off slurs. And I was like, okay, I'm 16, right? Sitting in the store like, okay, I've never even heard most of these words. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, it's nothing personal. It's just, I was a Vietnam vet and I can't stand them. And I was like, all right, dog. Anyways, here's your milk. It's like, okay. All right. Fine. Whatever, dude. I don't care. Shoot. Hey, stop messaging me. It'll pop up on here. Yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to. My brain's not braining, guys. I don't think there's a lot more of interesting things to watch, or talk about. I've said it all like 5 times. So to everybody just turning in, I don't know. Is there a good live broadcast to watch right now? Because I might just call it. All right. I might just call it. I don't have much left, guys. I'm sorry. Low energy John. Never gonna make it. They're gonna vote him out. Low energy John. Oh, I pull up YouTube and the first thing that pops up is my own YouTube channel. Thank you, but that's not super helpful now, is it? Who is live right now? Can I click on the live button? What pops up? Yeah, my own channel. That's good. Oh, here we go. Associated Press. What is this? Associated Press, seen in Caracas after U.S. strikes Venezuela and says Maduro captured. Well, listen. Okay, if Maduro isn't here, where is he? And I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that we got him. All right, but Trump. Anything funny? Are people being spicy in the chat? Yep. Indicted in New York by Pam Bondi. We already saw that earlier. Barrel and Hatchet is live right now. Are they? I'm going to stream them, and then I'm going to send you over to them. Because I actually do need to go to bed. But if you guys are up, you guys need to watch something. Oh, dude, we're mogging them. They only got 172 viewers live, dude. Dude, bro, you're getting murdered right now, dog. You're getting killed by me. Dog. All right.
In Central America.
Is he good? Let's see.
So that is definitely going to be a byproduct of this. This is how far the U.S. has dropped when you have to compliment Trump for not blabbing about a military operation. Yeah, I know. Do you think this is a larger plan to stabilize South and Central America, or is this a one-off? I don't know, man. To be honest, I think it will stabilize.
True. This image right here, I found the real one, guys. This one is real. 1000%. Hit that like button, dogs. That's good. That's a good one. Let me get through these real fast. Make sure. Hitman Serial for 5 says, I'm watching this with my client right now. I'm a caregiver. Well, to you, sir, and your patient, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful morning. I hope that the news is not unsettling anyone. And yeah, pray for both sides. I appreciate that, sir. Chimpeth, you're asking me real questions at 7 o'clock in the morning when I have not even slept yet, dude. 556 can recommendations. Well, for $2. If you want high back pressure, or you're okay with high back pressure, the Otter Creek Polonium or Polonium K are really good. They're very hard to beat. If you want reduced back pressure, you can go with the Cat White Bread or the OBD, whatever it's called, the Cat Suppressor. Or if you want almost no back pressure, you go with the Huxworks. There you go. That's my list. That's like my list for everything. So it's always the same stuff, dude. It's very boring. Well, YHM Turbo K. Like I have a Turbo K. It's not on a gun behind me, but I have a Turbo K, a Resonator K. They're both very mediocre. Breakfast stream, dude. I can't eat until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I get my first meal, is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, dude. So I'm hungry. I'm up. I'm dying, dog. He's been up watching.
Thing only in the West, only in America are
live.
Operation oil grabbing and banking system for a certain country was a success. That's a possibility. Tactical victory for sure. Coup regime change. Now what? The one thing that I did hear about the Venezuelan military and the government, all that stuff, is the corruption is rampant, like so bad, super bad. So that's going to be the challenge that the new Venezuelan system's going to have. You know, is
Barrel and
Maduro leaving?
hatchet.
Is someone more corrupt going to fill his place?
Dude. Barrel and hatchet, dog. I can't redirect to you. I got 500 people here that I can send your way. What's the next pick? Oh, the next pick over here is just the Trump statement. It's nothing. But Barrel and hatchet. I'd like to send 500 people your way, but I can't do that because you don't have your redirect turned on. So that's really obnoxious. This is good. I'm just gonna scroll my Instagram feed for you guys. Okay, how's that? Check it out. Pentagon Pizza report called it. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. As of 2:04 a.m. Actually, that's when it was going down. True. Yep. Days without another forever war, 0. Although, listen, to be fair to Trump, I don't know if this is going to be a forever war. Okay. Yes. This is very true. Epstein files, 9%. Venezuelan invasion, 91%. Very true. Yeah, I mean, if you can get him to do it, I'd be happy to do it. It's you know, it's a service I offer. Okay, is this real? Is this what the input? This is a great picture. Let Freedom Ping, LFP. Great account, by the way. This is a very good picture. Where did you get this from? What are these impacts? That is a very good picture. I'm trying to see if some of my top accounts have updated and given me a new photo dump. But I don't see a new photo dump, so I'm mega Apparently, these guys had to go to sleep at some point. Gonna hit me for the music, but yeah. Lawmaker Rena goes hard, okay. U.S. launches military strikes. Motto, great to see you up this morning. Been up. I've been up. I'm still awake. Oh, I can't talk, dude. I'm just gonna stop. Can't do it. Oh, here we go. What's this? No, that's from 4 days ago. Oh, that's waking up to Trump bombing another country. True, dude. True. Durka, Muhammad Jihad. Durka, Sherpa. Aw. Dude, yeah, we'll just give Marco Rubio his own country and pretend he's a real man. Okay, it's going to be weird. AK importers looking at Venezuela news now. True. Very possible. Very, very possible out there. Let's see. Hitman's really says, I'm telling her for you. Didn't hear the bad words. Also feeling a little patriotic with the whole situation. We came, we saw, he's gone. Well, even better than that, though, because instead of murdering him in the streets like an animal, we brought him back to face, you know, quote unquote justice. So I think that's cooler. I think it's objectively cooler to do a hit and run drive-by where we steal your president. It's like Donald Trump is in the Oval Office and he's thinking very deeply as he does, right? And he does his best Nick Cage impersonation. We're going to steal the president. We're going to steal the president of Venezuela. And then his cabinet's like, what? Excuse me? We're going to steal the president of Venezuela. Yep, we're going to do it. And then he does it, right? And then he actually pulls it off. The mad lad. Wild move. Thank you, sir, for the 5. Appreciate that. Stealth for 5 says, Trump admin has been saying they do this for months now. Everyone's saying this is just a distraction. Is sub 80 IQ. Not just a distraction, because again, we've talked about it from multiple angles. It does make geopolitical sense to remove or reduce China and Russia's influence in a country with closer proximity to the U.S. Absolutely. It absolutely makes sense to cut off oil supply to Iran, Russia, and China as well. It absolutely makes sense to take over that oil for your own production. And it also... No, I don't think so. Jonathan Glimmer Pacone says y'all getting drafted. But I do think that this will help destabilize the region more, at least in the interim, for sure. I think that's guaranteed that it will destabilize the region in the interim and might put more upward pressure on migrants heading towards the U.S., which is not a good thing. That's a bad thing. We already got too many of them. I would prefer fewer of them. Yeah. The strike on, the mausoleum for Hugo Chavez was based. That was just like insult to injury. We didn't need to hit that, but we did anyways because we thought it was funny. We thought it was cool. We thought it was very cool. Just like this. I think this is very cool.
No sé si fue un barco.
Oh, that's all right, man. I'll drop his link in chat.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira, mira.
Oh, I didn't realize that was like an actual impact there. That was sending sparks everywhere. I think this might have been the Hilltop Fort area where this is the mausoleum up here, because I think that in an earlier post it said that one there was on the hill. Could also be something else, though, of course.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira, mira.
Yeah, you can see that explosion happening up there. I wasn't paying attention earlier. Also, good morning, JP. Appreciate you, sir, hanging out. I haven't slept yet, so I'm about to die. But we make do, you know. Hey, that's the same machine gun syncopation as the Vegas thing from a few years ago. Don't ask questions, just consume product. Bro, Tintin and the 40 Bongols says cheap vacation incoming. No, that is going to be BlackRock property, sir. BlackRock is salivating at the idea. Honestly, it might even be China too. BlackRock or China, whichever one gets to it first, is going to be buying up a bunch of property. Taco of Terror says Maduro has been frozen in carbonite and will be displayed at the White House. Based? Based? Based in carbonite filled? Yeah. Well, I'm going to call it now, Dutch. If there is a World War III, I don't think Venezuela is going to be that much of a deciding factor. I could be wrong, okay, but from what we've seen tonight, I'm pretty sure that Venezuela is going to be a like a footnote. Won't even be a chapter in World War III. It'll be a footnote. It's like Venezuela also existed during this time. Yeah, Pizzato Pizza. The best pizza in the biz.
Okay, siguen las explosiones, se escuchan helicópteros, son las 1:58 de la mañana. Están atacando el fuerte Fiuna.
So I'm actually curious here. If these Chinooks, because I'm geographically challenged and I don't know where he's looking or what's around. But if these Chinooks that he's photographing here, videoing here, if they're leaving, if they're already done with the hard work and they're leaving. And there's a lot of them. You can hear they're still going overhead. There's a bunch of them heading wherever they're going. You can see some of them over there moving around. This is very true. D something says heading wherever they want to go. That's true. Very true. Very true. Yeah, hard to discern with it being nighttime. I agree. But you know what else is hard to discern with it being nighttime at all? That's my sleep schedule, guys. So I'm going to drop the link in chat for everybody there that wants to go hang out with Barrel and Hatchet, this fine gentleman over here. Go check him out. He's live.
Is rampant with corruption.
He's talking
which
about
also
it.
Probably had a hand,
which is good. Go give him a follow, watch a show, or watch somebody else's show. But thank you very, very much. Oh, it already ended, dude? Are you kidding me, dog? Kill me, dude. I'm going to cry. I'm so tired. I'm going to cry. You guys are going to see me cry on camera, live for everybody to laugh at because I'm so tired. I'm just going to fall asleep in my chair. How about that? How about I just fall asleep in my chair? Would that be better? No way this is live.
Great state of Kentucky. If you look at Kentucky, Kentucky
No.
is such a great place, but I don't know.
This is not live. There's 1,200 people watching, but this is not. That is absolutely not live. Nope. Stop being so selfish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to go to bed, though. Thank you to the 500 plus people who showed up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, dude. Some of you guys have been here the whole time, dude. You guys are wild. Yeah. Here we go, guys. I'm just going to fall asleep right here, dog. No, but I appreciate everybody in the chat. The guys that I don't get to see very often because I stream so late. Anything like that. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for the support. It is greatly appreciated. Helps keep the show running. Helps keep me buying more Monsters and Rain to keep me awake at odd times. And yeah. No, that's not live. Sorry, that's not. Let me get that off there. Again, I'm tired. All right, but I appreciate all of you very much. I put the Discord link in the chat. Go to the Discord. Oh, shoot, that's the wrong one. I just put my Discord chat in the wrong stream. I'm retarded. I'm going to put the Discord link in my chat. See, that's how tired. I was putting it in, in the fake stream live chat. Oh my gosh. All right. Discord link in the chat for you fine, wonderful gentlemen. Lamb Chop, I have not slept yet. I have not slept yet. Lee Hendo, good to see you here. KD, good to see you. Of course, you've been here. Appreciate you. Keandre, I don't get to see you much, but I do appreciate you. Josie Wales, of course, 545. Yeah. Yeah, dog. Taco of Terror, great name, by the way. Very appropriate for today's stream. Now, this is an interesting one. We didn't really talk about it much, but if Taiwan is invaded by China, that's actually a much bigger deal, in my opinion. Way bigger. BF4 Chode, of course, Eduardo Espinoza. Appreciate it. You're the best, Lee. Appreciate you, Lee. Actually, you got family down in Brazil, if I remember correctly. So, you know, same part of the world, not necessarily close. Did we win? Yeah, we won. Yeah, we win. We win, we won, whatever, dude. It was never a question. But I love and appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Now here's Fat Vance. Good night. God bless. God